Long delayed and not that anxiously awaited, I've finally put together the video of the execution of a Razer Lycosa keyboard and a fellow keyboard, the Logitech G15. I apologize to anybody who has been waiting for this video for the delay, but the audio was crap, the video wasn't much better, so we did the best we could. Here it is. Loading the Calico M950 50 round magazine, 9mm, takes a while. Go ahead and finish her off. Here we've shifted over to the Logitech G15 first generation keyboard. As you can see, it's a little bit the worse for wear even before the bullets start flying. It had a bit of a problem with the keys wearing off. That one right there, I think the keys lasted me about 3 weeks before they were practically transparent. That's why I went with Lycosa. As you can see, the Yugoslavian SKS rifle, semi-automatic, does a pretty good job of taking this thing apart. Clear? Starting out with the two keyboards side by side, you can see a striking difference in the way each one of them held up. The Razer Lycosa, missing a few keys, got a few little holes in it, nothing major, at least from here. Moving over to the Logitech G15, on the other hand, you see that this thing has just been pulled apart. There are keys missing everywhere. The LCD is cracked. The volume dial is gone. The mute button has a bullet hole right through it. This is really a difference in the way these two keyboards are manufactured. Initially going to the range, I just wanted to compare bullets to keyboard. That's it. I just wanted to say, hey, I'm going to take this keyboard out, shoot it up, put it on YouTube. Well, that's not really how I felt about this video when I was finished with the shoot. And the reason for that is that I was just so amazed by the difference in how each keyboard held up under the strain of being shot that I kind of wanted to focus on that. If you look at the G15, you see that the bullet holes are much smaller and the cracking underneath the case is much more significant. To me, comparing that to the Lycosa really is a point or two in Razer's favor. This keyboard seems to be more durable under certain kinds of stress and shock than the first generation Logitech G15. The bullet holes coming out of the Lycosa are far larger because the rounds were larger, but it seems to have shattered less in comparison to this on the G15. There were chunks missing all over the place on the G15. It just cracked as if you'd torqued it. But then anybody who's actually had an early generation G15 knows you can kind of flex those a bit. They've got a good bit of bend to them. And that, I think, is really what contributed to just the sheer amount of damage taken on the rifle range. I didn't intend this video to be a review, and every time I try and put in this voiceover, I kind of stumble on that fact. It really does feel to me like this turned into a review under fire, and I'm not exactly sure how to pull away from that. So I'm not even going to try. Looking at these two keyboards side by side, the only thing that goes through my mind is that the design from each company was different from the very beginning. Logitech took a good, normal keyboard and put some gaming features on it. I don't think their springs were much different than they are in your standard cheap Logitech keyboard. I think the only things they did were bling it up a little bit, add an LCD and some lighting and some macro keys and a software package, and then sent it on its merry way. Razer, I think they actually did start trying to build a gaming keyboard. I'm not sure what failed. There are some things like the super sensitive control panel up there for audio, the obvious failure that I had with the shift key before there was a bullet in it that kicked this whole thing off. And really, I think Razer tried very hard to come up with a great product. And I think maybe for most other owners they have. My big problem with them is the user interface and the failed shift key, but they made good on warranty after announcing a recall soon after my initial RMA, and I'm pretty happy with them now. I still use a Razer mouse. I'll buy their products again if I see one on the shelf and I'm on the market, and that'll do it. Thanks.
Well, Glenn, held up pretty well. Congratulations.
Okay.